I'm Arys, and I want to welcome you to Who and How Spotlights, a series where we shed a very special light on individuals who have used their stories and life experiences to give back to this world in some way, shape, or form. I've always believed that we all have a story, but some stories go untold. I created the Who and How Club platform to provide a safe space for those same untold stories to be shared. Another thing that I always believed in is that smart people learn from their own experiences, but wise people learn from the experiences of others. Whether these experiences are mistakes, successes, examples of growth, or even moments of redemption. Today, we share a story of redemption. Enter Marlon Morgridge, aka Sling Dads, a person who literally made the conscious decision to turn his life around. From being involved in the streets, to getting a murder charge, to becoming a father of 3 black boys, to now being a leader in his community and a recording artist. We learn that this is someone who listeners of the show can truly learn from. I started off with asking Marlon where he's from, what being in the streets meant to him, how he got in, and how he got out. Ironically, during these topics, we hear sirens in the background.
Well, originally I was born in, we'll start off where I'm born. I'm born in Lawrence Heights, also known as the Jungle to many people, or Jungle City. When I was 6 years old, my mom got transferred from Toronto Housing. Back in the days, it was called NTHA, Metro Toronto Housing Authority. And she got transferred to a larger unit at the Jane and Trethewey Housing Complex, to many people known as Trethewey Drive or Jane and Trethewey.
Or Trethewey.
Or Trethewey.
Or Trethewey.
Yeah, or Brown Bricks,
yes,
you know.
Yes.
But yeah, that's where I was raised until I was in my early 20s. And that's where basically everything started in regards to the streets. Growing up in Toronto housing, you know, some Toronto housing communities are not the same. So from my experience, you know, I come outside my house, you know, there's crackheads right in front of your face, you know, people making money, weed smoking, you know, like people playing basketball, like people that's actually superstars coming out of these neighborhoods, you know, but without lack of opportunity and chances, they're just stuck in this one place, right? So
yeah,
these are the things that I was experiencing. Like myself, I was like actually an exclusive basketball player. Like anybody who actually came from that area in the 90s, they'll let you know, like, you know, Marlon or Slings, yeah, he's that guy, you know. But you know, like I said, at one point the streets got a hold of me, and you know,
was seeing those, you know, you said you went outside and saw the superstars on the block and the people who had the money and stuff like that. Is that what kind of inspired you and motivated you to get involved? Or
yeah,
what kind of
yeah, definitely. Yeah. No, I'd agree because to be honest, I didn't have a father in the household, like maybe 85% of us that grew up there, and those guys were the male figures out there, you know what I mean? Like those were the guys to look up to, because at the time, you know, we all want clothes and nice things, and this is the way to get it in the eyes that we saw, you know?
Yes.
And besides that, like, you know, don't get it wrong, some of them did tell us not to be out in the streets, we should go to school and stuff like that, and, you know?
Yes.
But when you know your mom's, you know, not having a job or trying to get a job or can't give you the money that you want to get at that time in life, and you know you can just go outside and it's right there in front of you, like there's not really much of a choice you're going to make, right? You're just going to go to the obvious, what you think is the correct thing.
Was there ever a time during those times where you felt like, okay, this is like, I shouldn't be involved in this way, but I can't stop or I can't get out? Like what kept you in?
To be honest, at one point, I think we all, when we first originally get involved in stuff like that, it's a way to get in and get out. But then it's like anything, it's an addiction, you know? Like the fast money keeps coming in, you know, and you just continue until, you know, something happens, you know what I mean? But to be honest, I'm pretty sure everybody gets an inner vibe that they know that this is wrong, or they should actually know when to stop. But, you know, like I said, it's an addiction to a point. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna stop next week, and then next week comes, then you probably make more money, or something else, another opportunity comes, or whatever the case may be that keeps you glued in, right? But
So how did you get out? At what point were you like, okay, I'm done with this life. I'm going to pursue other things in my life, whether it was the arts or getting involved with your community? What was that like breaking point?
honestly, Iris, I'll be honest with you, it took a while, bro.
Mm,
It took a while, bro. Um, really and truly, like when it came to the gang life, I one point in my life I was charged with attempt murder,
mm,
and I had a situation that I had to defend, a
yeah,
friend, and
yeah.
at that time in my life, when the case was over, the friendship kind of tarnished as well, right?
Mm,
So at that time, my neighborhood kind of turned on me, and this is something that I was actually willing to die for at one point, right?
mm,
So when that experience kind of hit me, I think that was kind of the breaking point
yes,
for me in regards to not being involved with the gang no more.
yes.
But at that time, I was still involved in the streets for many years. Otherwise, like I was still like selling drugs and stuff like that, just to get by. Because at them times, I became a father, right?
Right.
So I'm not getting jobs that I actually needed to get in order to survive and support my family and pay bills and et cetera, right? So that
So
was my way of trying to survive, for many years.
so it was like one foot in, one foot out. Like you knew that you had to be done with this life, but in a sense, you felt like you had no choice but to be involved because you have to provide. You're a father now. You know, you got to pay the bills. It's one of the things that you're familiar with, so you stay involved. Do I got that
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah. I would say so. It's actually one foot in, one foot out, because like I said, I want to do better, but it's like, can I do better?
I asked Marlon how he realized that he could do better. Sometimes we don't know that about ourselves, that we could actually do better than what we're doing. Our situations that we're in, we could actually overcome it. This is what he said.
Just because of knowing that everything comes to an end one day.
Mm,
You know what I mean?
mm,
Like you'll see like people that, obviously that I grew up around, either died, went to prison, and everybody knows there's only two-way streets in this road.
mm,
And I don't want to be either on either end of the stick.
mm,
So plus I'm a person that's like my health is not the best. We'll
mm.
get a little bit more into that, but like I said, I have a lot of situations in my life that just made me just had to say, you know what, I'm a father of three. I want to be here for my three sons, and I want better for them and leave them a foundation. So I just said to myself, one day that, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna continue trying to get factory jobs or customer service jobs, or what's my passion? What do I want to do? And everybody knows at that time I was doing music. I love doing music. So I found a program in music in Seneca College
Yeah.
at the York University campus, and I enrolled myself in school, and that's where I started in regards to the big change.
Jeez, man. That's amazing. That's like an amazing turnaround, I feel. And especially with being a father. You said a father of three sons, right?
Yeah, three sons, two of them fully autistic.
Mm. So
Yeah,
what's that experience like being a father for you? What
amazing.
does being a father mean to you?
Amazing, but to be honest with you, it's just for the fact that just like a lot of families don't stay together. So that's my only disappointment and downfall in life that I wish that I could have, you know, figured out a way to keep my family together in life, from early stages. But yeah, being a father is, I'm just happy to be a father, just to know that I can produce and look at my children and see them grow and, develop in life, even though they have their issues. But
Mm. Do you feel like the universe or God like blessed you with three sons for a reason? Like when you look at like you being a father and looking at the children that you have, they're all boys, three black boys. What does that mean to you? Like, do you feel like that was done on purpose in a way?
Oh, definitely. Nothing is a coincidence, you know what I mean? Even though a lot of us wish certain things don't happen in life, right? But yeah, I definitely think it was a blessing because at one point I was saying to myself, I may not even be here in these alive in these streets because, like I said, at one point I was very heavily active, and I'm my mother's only child.
Mm.
So just before I had my own child, my mom actually lost a child, and I was I'm her only child, so I was just saying to myself, I can't get killed in these streets and don't continue my generation, right?
Yeah.
So when I had my first son, I was very, very proud just to know that, he was a boy. You know what I mean? Like everybody, have decisions in life in regards to how they grow their kids, but I'm glad that my kids, are focused in regards to trying to do the best that they can. Like I say, two of them are fully autistic, but it doesn't stop them in regards to, trying to move forward in life.
I asked Marlon if he ever fears for his three boys and how a father of three boys protects his children in this current climate that we're in of street violence, police brutality, and viciousness that we see every day, not only in real life, but on our portable screens as well.
100% yours. And I'll tell you the 100% reason why. I ain't going to say exactly where they live, but let's put it this way. They live in one of the housing projects in Toronto right now that's very active with gun violence on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Right? So there's only, a handful of those in the city that everybody knows about.
Yeah,
So,
of course.
So my son, my kids, them actually live in one of those housing complexes, and their mother doesn't even let them outside to throw out the garbage. That's how bad it is, right? So just by guidance, brother, you know what I mean? And just given the teachings that what we were taught with, you know what I mean? That most of us were taught with, like, I can't really say everybody's taught with the same thing, but, in my household, I'm raised with just a single mother, and I was raised with strong values in the home, I think it goes a long way in regards to passing that along. I know a lot of, I notice a lot of the youth, them are, they're missing the guidance. Like, I'm not saying a lot of parents ain't trying to provide it, but it's not being installed for some reason, and I don't understand why. I've noticed that in a lot of youths, like, the respect is not the same from generation to generation to elders.
Those foundational things like the manners, the respect, the self-respect,
just saying, respect big man, or hello, good afternoon, or holding the door for somebody, like either, like if I'm in my 40s, I'm in my early 40s, and I'll see, like I said, big old school generals still out here in these on the south side of Jane or the south side, and they're still out here doing what they do on the low. But when I see them, it's like no different than 20 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, I'll see them and show them the same manners and respect like when I was that young adult man coming up.
Yes.
And, they respect that. But these youths now, in reverse situations, there's some that, they'll show that respect because they're raised with that value as well. But like I said, there's a majority of them out there right now that's not really caring about the older heads, them that paved the way. You know what I mean?
Yes. Let's talk about you for a second, and we're going to get to, you enrolling into college and all that jazz and getting into music. If I was a stranger, I asked our last guest this, but like, you and I have some sort of connection and we've encountered each other numerous times. But let's say I was a stranger. How would Marlon define himself to that stranger? Like, who are you?
Overall, I'm a community leader, recording artist, actor / upcoming author, father of 3 boys, an advocate for autism, and a person living with diabetes.
I asked Marlon what Black History Month meant to him. He gave a pretty unique answer that is pretty in line with the Who and How brand.
Well, first of all, Black history in general means to me just knowing your history as a Black person. You know, like it's deeper than just a month. You know, like you got to actually know who you are in regards to actually telling people who you are, right? So, like myself, my roots, from what I know, you know, I'm Jamaican background. I'm born Canadian, but you know, I'm Jamaican background. My parents are Jamaican, but we all come from Africa. Doesn't matter what color you are, right? When it comes to the beginning of civilization, right? But just knowing who you are and knowing things about yourself and about, you know, about your people in general is very important to know, because as a Black person now, it's sad to know that, you know, we all know other people's histories and then can't identify who you are as a person. Like going to school in the, you know, North American system, they didn't really teach you about things that we're supposed to know in regards to foundation and stuff like that, right? They just gave you the outskirts of stuff and kind of implemented other things to make you believe that these are the things that you should more know as a person, which everybody should actually know about everybody's history. But when it comes to Black history, I think it's important that, you know, Black people should just, you know who they are, where they come from, read a lot of books, don't listen to media in regards to the hype and stuff like that, and just actually get to identify who they are in regards to knowing who they are in regards as a Black person.
Marlon, share with us an accomplishment of yours. What's something that you feel like you've accomplished? That the first thing that came to your mind when I asked you that.
Surviving these streets and living to be the age of 42 from the lifestyle that I know I came from.
What's a challenge that you overcame? It's kind of synonymous with what we just said, but like what's a specific challenge that you feel like you really overcame in your life?
The fast life.
What does your community mean to you?
Everything. And these are just all one-word answers, like straight off the top of my head.
Listen to Marlon explain what his experience in school was like, and he'll also share a little bit about his non-for-profit organization.
For me to go to school, first of all, I was already in the music, Canadian, you know, I don't want to say industry because we're still trying to say if we have an industry, right? But like, you know, the Canadian scene, I was already known. You know, I was already on much music, much vibe, and, you know, DVDs and stuff like that throughout the city. And, you know, I was already popular. But at that time, I still didn't know, like, the business, right? Like, I only knew, like, what people were showing me. And within myself, I wanted to know more without other people just telling me. So, yeah, I think it was very important for me to go to school and, you know, get the proper knowledge in regards to professionals that's been in the industry for over 20 years.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought that was very blessed, and I was happy that they had an opportunity for somebody like myself to be enrolled in such a great program.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest with you, I'm actually a two-time college graduate, right? So I actually went to George Brown.
That talk.
Yeah, brother. I went to George Brown and took community worker, took a 2-year course.
Yes.
Got my diploma in regards to that. So, you know, I'm under the social and community service title.
Yeah.
And also, I just enrolled in university for September.
Jeez.
It's coming September to get my bachelor's for social work.
Yo.
Because I do have a nonprofit as well, right?
Yes.
So,
I commend you, brother. You're inspiring me literally through this conversation right now. So I appreciate that. And I appreciate you sharing that. Talk more about your not-for-profit and what that represents.
Yeah, sure. I appreciate you, brother. Well, first off, it's called the Morgridge Foundation. There's another foundation similar, if you Google it, known as the Morgridge Family Foundation. That's not me, right? Mine is the Morgridge Foundation. My last name is Morgridge. And that's why, named it after myself. And I'm setting, like I said, I have three sons, right? So I'm trying to leave a foundation for them to even uphold. You know what I mean? Like, if I do, pass away or whatever the case may be, right? Just leaving a legacy for them. You know what I mean? But
Yes.
the Mortgage Foundation, basically, I provide several services. So from the beginning, I would say we do early intervention gang programs, on-site programming, beat the street programs, counseling, crisis intervention and support, positive parenting programs, food and clothing bank services, housing support, legal support advice, community connections, health management, ID clinics, college, university preparation services. The list goes on, brother. Like, this is what we do for the community. And at this point, like, it's time, you know what I mean? Like, to partner up with other organizations, and we got to solve these problems in these communities, man, that need the assistance.
Yes. Do you believe that like only people from the community can really solve the issues from the community, or is it okay to? I know you mentioned partnering with these organizations, but what about people from the outside? You think that they could provide some answers and help too, or do you feel like it all has to happen from within?
I think it's a mixture of both. Like, you have to have people from the community involved, number one. But I think this is part of the problem. A lot of the people that's already involved are not people from the community. And, this is a question that was brought to me in another meeting that I had recently in regards to the Department of Justice wanting to know answers in regards to why the criminal youth justice system, why youths are being, charged heavily in a high rate.
Yeah.
And this is part of the problem, right? Like, you have to have people that in the community that people can look at and trust, right? And know that they actually probably went through what they're going through and is part of the solution at this moment. Like myself, at one point I was actually a problem in the community, right. But now I'm the person that's actually bridging the gap.
In this clip, Marlon and I find out that outside of being in the social services field and having the same barber, there's something else that kind of connects us. I've looked on your page and Frontlines. So another sort of like indirect connection. When I was a kid, when I first, like, my mom raised us in Niagara for a bit, and then when we moved back to Toronto, I was born here, raised in Jane and Shepherd in the Maze, and then my mom didn't want us being raised here at that like early stages of our lives, so she moved us to Niagara, and then we came back. Around the time that we came back, I was living in the Western Road area in Lawrence. And I was just a kid roaming the streets looking for something to do, and I came across Frontlines. And Frontlines plays such a big part in my life because there are these moments that occurred at Frontlines for me and in that area that I could remember just like it was yesterday. You know what I'm saying? But I was just a youngin'. And then many years passed or whatever. I haven't been involved or anything since, but Frontlines is still there. Can you tell me what your involvement with Frontlines, or what it has been? And what Frontlines is, sorry?
It's funny that you mentioned that, because as I'm talking to you, I'm at Frontlines right now.
Hey, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Tell the people what Frontlines, what I'm talking about, and then
definitely. Well, I'm very, proud and happy to let people know about Frontlines. I'm actually the youth engagement worker here at Frontlines. Western Frontline Center, located at Western Road and Lawrence intersection. We're at 1800 Western Road. Yes. We have 3 units here. We have a culinary section, a teen zone section, and a child section. So basically, as the youth engagement worker, I engage with the community in Weston in regards to providing services and resources. But I'm actually stationed in Falstaff. So if for those who know, Falstaff is maybe a 5 to 7 minute drive from Western Road and Lawrence, Jane and Falstaff. Yes. But it's not in the Weston area. It's actually divided from Weston to North York. So I'm in the North York section a lot as well at Jane and Falstaff, providing service at Jane and Falstaff. And the program is called Future Inspired Teens, and the acronym FIT. So we run resources and services. I provide meals weekly, hygiene kits. In the summertime, we provide back to school supplies and, all kind of services, gift cards for incentives. I partner up with other organizations in Falstaff to provide the youth STEM services as well. So for Black History Month so far, we've had like movie nights. Every Friday, I have a thing called Film Night Fridays that we provide the youth STEM 2 movies in regards to Black history. One may be a documentary and just one as a film, just to teach the education.
Yes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got one more Valentine's Day promotion from Manscaped. This show is brought to you by Manscaped and is in support of Manscaped. So Valentine's Day is upon us, fellas. Once again, make sure you're ready for whatever the night may take you. Our friends at Manscaped, the global leaders in men's below-the-waist grooming, are here to tell you that you need to use the best tools for the job so that you could be ready for anything on that special day. It is February 11th today, guys. So we got Valentine's Day in a couple days. Make sure you spread this message to your ladies, all right? And let them know what you want. 2 million men have already been trusting Manscaped products to groom, and make sure that you're one of them, because I'm one of them, so you need to be one of them as well. Your girl can't think of what to get you this year? Tell her to get the gift that's for you and for her. The best way to get started is with Manscaped Perfect Package 3.0. Full of the best products to keep you looking, smelling, and feeling nice. Now, I got the complete package. It comes with the groomer. It comes with some special ointments. It comes with the boxers as well, which I adore. I've expressed that on the show before. I'm actually wearing them right now. So, yeah, you should get the Perfect Package 3.0, which is led by their revolutionary third-generation Lawnmower 3.0 trimmer, which has advanced skin-safe technology and features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents. It's also waterproof, which prevents a mess on the bathroom floor and in the sink, especially when it's time for Cupid to shoot his arrow. Yay! And let's be real, we've smelled the worst down there before. That's why I'm thankful for their crop preserver and crop reviver. I really hate reading that part because I've never had that issue. And I thank the gods, the lawnmower, the 3.0 Manscaped gods, that I've never had any smelly issues down there. It's kind of weird talking about this stuff. I'm the only one talking in this room right now, but I know people are going to listen to this and they're going to be like, Arys, you're wild. But I pray that my brothers out there have not had these smelling issues either. Either way, if you do, these products keep our boys from sweating, smelling, and sticking. So still use them if you need. I'm not trying to ball shame any of my fellas out there. If you have these issues, then Manscaped has the solutions. These products smell good. Their mainly secret, their mainly scent is attractive and will help set the mood, if you know what I mean. I can't read today, guys. The Perfect Package 3.0 will also come with a pair of Manscaped boxers that'll keep your junk feeling fresh all day. It's time to upgrade those overused pair of boxers to Manscaped's high-performance anti-chafing boxers. Easily the comfiest boxers I've ever had. And I'm living proof of that, guys, so you could trust me on that. You trust your host, right? Hello? Anyone? Anyway, complete your grooming game with the new refined cologne signature scent by Manscaped with the same signature scent that's in all Manscaped formula. This cologne is a perfect complement to the collection. This is the perfect package for your perfect package. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code WHOHOW20, as in the Who and How Club, of course. So that's WHOHOW, the number 20, at manscaped.com, and you'll get 20% off plus free shipping with that code. And that's our special offer code. Your balls will thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm saying ladies not because you have balls, but because your man's balls belong to you anyway. So they're your balls pretty much, right? Gentlemen, use the code WHOHOW20. Go online and, get a discount. You got to take care of yourself. Women like properly groomed men and freshly scented, you know what. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code WHOHOW20 at manscaped.com. Once again, that's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Use the code WHOHOW20, and happy Valentine's Day from Manscaped and the Who and How Club. Valentine's Day 2021. Let's kill it this year, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get back to the show. So I want to ask, like, what's next for Marlon?
Just building the foundation for the Morgridge Foundation, trying to just, provide the services that the people that need out there in these priority communities. And even if they're not in priority communities, anybody that actually needs the help and the resources, just contact us, Like, at the moment, my website is not up, but you can contact me by Googling the Morgridge Foundation. If you Google it, you'll actually see all the information provided to you and how to get a hold of me. If you have an Instagram, I can be followed at slingdads, SLING_DADZ. And yeah, that's how people can get a hold of me in regards to knowing what's up with the Morgridge Foundation and what we can do for you.
Shout out to Marlon. Shout out to you for just being on the show. We really do appreciate you. You have a story to tell, and we're gonna invite you back onto the show to get more in depth. And I told you we're gonna do this in person. Like, this is just a little mini introduction to who you are, but we're gonna follow up within the months to come, weeks and months to come, and hopefully, we'll be able to sit down across the table and talk more in depth and shoot some footage and just give the people more knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
No, definitely. And Arys, I appreciate you just for even having me speak my mind and letting the people them know what's about me and, what's next to come, and just putting this platform out for people to give their voice and, really respect it and appreciate it.
Before we end this episode, Marlon shares a special message to his people.
Yeah, just, people out there that's, doing the crimes out there in regards to gun violence, put that shit down, man, because really and truly, it's not going to be a thing that's going to last forever, man. You got to think about what's going on, man, because really and truly, if you continue doing this, what do you think is going to happen to your people? What, you think this is not going to end? Come on, man. People got to wake up, man, and just go read a book and, take in a program. And one thing I want to say about programs, honestly, is very important for people to continue, the government to continue supporting programs, because my actual first job that I had was in my area, TWHC, where I was working with Toronto Community Housing. And when you work with Toronto Housing, you're not really supposed to be working in your own community, but it was a partnership with Griffin Center that provided youth employment in regards to, work. And without that program, I wouldn't probably be where I am today, because it gave me a sense of direction and made me fall in love with just community work. And now this is what I actually do for a living. So, it's never too late, and programs are important. So government, please continue to support these programs that we ask and request to continue running for these youths.
I couldn't agree with you more, Marlon. Thank you so much for being on the show today. And I'm going to touch base with you offline, all right?
All right. Thank you again, brother. And everybody, enough love and happy Black History Month. Peace.
100%. Thanks, Ken.